How to hire great salespeople using the xPlore Sales Assessment. How do you know who to hire among all of the applicants applying for a sales job? How do you really know that you're making the right hiring decision? Well, you use the xPlore Sales Assessment, the 3-in-1 assessment designed specifically for hiring salespeople. You see, on the surface, we measure sales personality. You're probably familiar with that. Going deeper, we measure sales motivators, what drives them to perform. But finally, we dig deep inside the mind of your sales candidates and measure their sales mentality, how they think. Now, when you put these three together, you get a very in-depth, robust intelligence about your candidate's probability of meeting your expectations. So let's take a look at sales personality. This answers the question about your sales candidate: how will they perform? In this example, we'll take a look at Joe and Bob, the top 2 candidates applying for the sales job. After completing the xPlore Sales Assessment, let's do a side-by-side comparison of Joe and Bob. Now, Joe's personality style indicates that he's an extrovert, he's assertive, and he's relational. Now, those are excellent traits for an outside new business development sales rep. Now, what you might call a hunter. Bob's personality style is just the same. So let's take a look at their graphs. As you can see, their extroverted graphs are literally identical. Now, here are some of the critical questions that we want to answer with this part of the assessment. The first is, are they an introvert or are they an extrovert? Passive or assertive? Analytical or relational? Now, if we only measured personality style and stopped here, then we might assume that Joe and Bob would both sell well. But there's more to measure, so let's keep looking. The next measurement is sales motivation, which answers the question, why do these sales candidates sell, or why do they want to sell? So let's take a look at Joe and Bob again. This time we'll compare their motivators. Joe is motivated by money, which is good since he's applying for a commission-based sales job. He's also motivated by autonomy. This is also good since this is a territory sales role with a lot of drive time. And finally, Joe is motivated by acquiring knowledge. This helps since he would need to keep up with new and emerging technology. So in other words, Joe's motivators align perfectly with the job. Bob, not so much. He's not motivated by commission sales job. He's more of a flat salary kind of guy. Now, this can pose a problem. He may have a great personality style, which we just saw, but he's not motivated by what the job rewards. And we can see the difference in the graphs. As you can see, Joe, he has a high money drive. But when you take a look at Bob's motivators, his money drive is low, and there's a conflict there. So, let's examine the consequences of what we call misalignment. What gets a preacher motivated to preach is very different than what motivates an artist to paint, which is very different than what motivates a salesperson to sell. So here's an interesting question. What happens if they all swapped jobs? Sounds like the setup to a really bad joke. Well, let's take a look. Performance would go down. Manager frustration would go up. Employee satisfaction would go down, and turnover would go up. Their motivators would be misaligned with the job. Now, put them back in the same roles, and things go back to normal. Everybody's happy, and everybody's productive. So some of the critical questions that we find out are these. Is this candidate more motivated by salary or more motivated by commissions? Are they dependent? Or are they motivated by autonomy and independence? And finally, are they coachable or are they resistant to coaching? The final measurement is sales mentality, which answers the question, will this sales candidate sell? So let's take a look at Joe and Bob one more time. What we did was select the top 6 attributes required for success. Now, as you can see, Joe has high scores in all of them. He is an excellent fit for the sales job. Bob, however, does not. He's going to struggle with rejection, self-management, and persistence. Not a good fit for the sales job. But you wouldn't know that from his resume, his personality test, or the interview. Only the xPlore Sales Assessment will give you that. In fact, we measure over 70 cognitive attributes so you receive a deep insight into the capacities of every single sales candidate that you assess. You see, at Exponential Selling, we've analyzed over 10,000 salespeople with our assessment. We've been actively involved in over 4,000 hiring decisions. And we've trained over 7,000 salespeople. In short, we know salespeople. And the process for using the xPlore Sales Assessment, well, it's very, very simple. We set up your online account for you. We provide you with an access code to distribute to your candidates. They complete the xPlore Sales Assessment online, and then you receive the results automatically, and we provide you with a complete interpretation with one of our certified assessment consultants. That's it. So to get started hiring great salespeople using the xPlore Sales Assessment, simply fill out the form on the screen or give us a call.